This is the government's week in review for the week ending Friday, August 18th, 2023. I am Christian Mitchell. In the headlines, 4 Grenadians received shipping scholarships to study at UK universities. Details to this and more after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do thin stuff. Garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Grenada has copped 4 scholarships for the academic year 2023 to 2024 under the Chevening Scholarship Scheme, which is a global scholarship program of the British government awarded to exceptional individuals with leadership potential. The program enables recipients to study 1-year master's courses in a range of subjects at UK universities. Michelle Alexander will pursue a master's degree in innovation, creativity and leadership at City University of London. Danish Harford and Masters in Law, Employment, Work and Equality at University of Bristol. Cherise Noel will pursue a degree in International Litigation and Dispute Resolution at City University of London. And Yusuf Stafford, a Master's in Development Economics at University of Sussex. The scholarships are funded by the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office and aim to support UK foreign policy's priorities by creating lasting positive relationships with future leaders, influencers and decision makers. Other scholarship recipients were selected from Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The application period will open in mid-September and will close in mid-November. 110 dentists and hygienists from Canada and the United States will be in Grenada to deliver free dental care for Grenadians at the National Cricket Stadium over the next 2 weeks beginning on Monday. This is the 4th year that Great Shape Inc. is conducting the project in Grenada, which is being held in partnership with the Sandals Foundation, the Ministry of Education, Sports and Culture, and the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs. Executive Director of Great Shape Inc., Joseph Wright, highlights the services to be provided at the clinic.
The kind of services we're providing, as usual, cleanings, fillings, extractions, sealants, fluoride, examinations. We have x-rays, we do screenings for blood pressure, and hopefully a few root canals when possible, and a few other services. So that starts on Monday at the National Cricket Stadium. And it starts Monday, it goes through Friday for 2 weeks at the National Cricket Stadium. And it's on a first come, first served basis. So persons who are interested in getting free dental care should come down to the National Cricket Stadium early Monday morning by 8 o'clock, form a line, and we'll be taking names and registering people for particular time slots throughout that day, throughout the Monday, and for the entire week.
This year's project will also see the introduction of a new program called Seal Grenada, which aims to significantly reduce cavities in children. The program runs from August 28th at the Corinth Government School for children in St. David, aged 6 to 18 years.
A dental sealant, for those who don't know, is a small, clear liquid that dentists and hygienists paint onto the surface, the chewing surfaces of your molars. And by painting this liquid, which dries into a hard surface on your teeth, it prevents cavities from forming in those chewing surfaces of your teeth. And it's been proven to reduce cavities, what we call caries in the dental world, reduces cavities dramatically in children populations as they grow into adulthood. And so it's a very effective prevention treatment. We use it in addition to topical fluoride. So we do a fluoride treatment, which is a varnish we paint onto the teeth. And all of the sealants and the fluoride varnish, there's no needles, there's no instruments, it's a painless procedure. It takes about 10 minutes to apply to a child. And it's almost like magic because it's a very simple procedure, yet it can help prevent cavities for years.
The Seal Grenada project will facilitate students from different schools in the St. David district on different days during the week. Students of Corinth governments will be seen on Monday, St. Theresa and St. Dominic students on Tuesday, St. David's RC on Wednesday, St. Joseph's RC on Thursday, and Croshu RC on Friday. Parents and guardians are asked to sign consent forms, which gives the professionals authorization to carry out dental procedures on their children. Agro-processors now have a new forum to showcase and find markets for their products through the Grenada Agro-Tourism Cooperative's quarterly night market in St. George's. On Thursday, 41 agro-processors participated in the first expo and market, which was held on Granby Street and Halifax Street Market Square area. The initiative is in keeping with government's plans to place greater emphasis on local food production and consumption. Vice President of the Agro-Tourism Cooperatives, Bevan Charles, outlined the long-term plan for the night market.
We set out a 10-year strategy in terms of how can we get Grenadian products recognized globally to capture international markets. One of the opportunities that came to our table was the UNDP Grand Challenge, where we decided that a lot of agro-processors or even farmers themselves do not have a social media presence. So through that grant, we're now able to set up a website, also an e-commerce shop where locals, people in diaspora, clientele globally are able to process, research, and even purchase directly from the website Grenadian local products. The idea of the expo came about from that discussion. How can we expose Grenadian products? How can we give farmers and agro-processors a platform to showcase their products? And we decided to have a night market. So after much deliberation and consideration and reaching out to the authorities, we were able to access those streets, and until this day we have this event, and the turnout has been amazing because today we have 41 agro-processors able to showcase their products and able to engage our locals to see what is actually being done in Grenada to create beautiful and diversified products.
Participants Ali Batiste, Bridget Aberdeen, and David Ambrose are grateful for the exposure to new markets for their products. They are excited about the demands that will soon be placed on local production and creativity.
We have to start feeding ourselves. We have to start taking care of ourselves. We don't know, Ivan should have COVID should have waken us up with the lockdown. No ship is not coming. So Grenada, we have to feed ourselves. Even when it comes to, we have so many medication, which is natural herbs here. We have to start using our herbs. You know, there's a lot, the world become a global village now. You can get on the internet and you can find out what this herb is helpful and what this is good for. And you know, there is so much could be learned.
The fruits really are healthy snacks. They have no additives, no preservatives, nothing added to it at all, and it's tastes really good. And it's also suitable for all members of the family. We think it would be a wonderful snack for children, you know, in the packed lunches, and also for adults, something that they can have at any time. In Grenada, we have an abundance of mangoes that are rotten. Mangoes are falling to the ground, no one's doing anything with it. I think even the pigs don't want mangoes at the moment. So I saw a niche and thought I can introduce it to the Grenadians and hopefully those in the diaspora. But also, mango season is not 12 months of the year. So there also come a time during the year when there's no mangoes. And obviously the dry mangoes would be available. I think it is essential that we buy local. It's essential that we grow our own food and not have to really rely on produce and products coming from outside of Grenada.
The next step would be to include creative pieces, literature, novels and so on in the school's curriculum for English B, for English literature at the primary level as well as the lower secondary level. I don't think we could control which books are used for upper secondary, but for the rest of the school system, I'm sure it would be great to have a Grenadian book for Grenadian children to read from and learn about Grenadian culture, the way we live and things like that.
The night market will be held from 4 to 8 p.m. quarterly at the same venue. This is the Government Week in Review. When we return, Spice Mass 2023 dubbed a major success.
At the NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivors' benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
Welcome back. CEO of Spice Mass, Cecile Noel, in his first year at the helm of the corporation, says the 2023 festival was a resounding success with record-breaking participation and spectator attendance numbers. This is expected to continue as they work towards making Spice Mass a better product, with plans already in motion for 2024. Tourism officials and governments have marketed Grenada's Carnival as one of the safest, hence many journey to witness and participate in this uniqueness of the Spice Mass experience.
From all indication, Spice Mass 2023 has been a resounding success. As we consider what happened from the preliminary stages all the way up to the finals, we have seen steady increases in terms of number of attendants, but significantly on the onset of Spice Mass, there was some measuring, characteristics, if I may put it that way, that we put in place that we would be able to judge the success of Spice Mass 2023 from.
He explained that the success of the festival is as a result of many changes that were made, including boosting the traditional mass, which was held in St. Mark and saw participation from 21 bands.
It was our intention to ensure that the events, all of the events, start on time and run in a timely manner. And the truth is that for most, that is exactly what happened, with the exception, and I would specifically mention it, of the Kiddies Carnival. And if we are to evaluate what happened then, it was because of the overwhelming interest shown that we in fact saw increased numbers in the number of bands that participated in the Children's Carnival Frolic, as well as the number of junior calypsonians that came forward and really wanted to be a part of the event. One of the other measurement sticks that we had was to see increased number of attendance at the various events. And again, from start to finish, starting with the Children Carnival Frolic on the 5th, going into the Queen Show, the Calypso Finals, the Soca, that's the Power and Groovy Soca Finals, and Panorama. All of these we saw increased attendances for these events. So again, that was a second measuring stick which we were very happy with. So all in all, and there were other indicators that we want to judge ourselves by at Spice Mass, but from all indication, as I said before, it has been a resounding success. We saw what happened on the road. There were people who felt that there's no way we could have Monday Night Mass run as it did. Yes, there's still some areas, or there are some areas that we need to consider and work on, but we are already putting plans in place for 2024, and the whole expectation is that it will be an improved product and it will be better delivered to all of Grenada and all who show interest in Spice Mass.
The Grenada Tourism Authority says the increase in airlift to Grenada ahead of the 2023 Carnival festivities was a resounding success. CEO Petra Roach says the destination received more airlift with regional and international airlines during the season. For the summer period, June 15 to September 5th, JetBlue increased the capacity of its regular daily service to Grenada by switching from an A320 to a 200-seater A321. GIS spoke with the CEO at the Maurice Bishop International Airport, who came to welcome 200 passengers who arrived via JetBlue's A321 flight, joined by the Minister of Tourism, Honorable Lennox Andrews, and Acting Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan.
We're really excited about everything that JetBlue is doing for us. They actually started a second service, a second daily service. That's the Red Eye service, and that gives us an A320 with 162 seats. And again, all of them have been coming in full. We're really, really thrilled at the relationship that we have with Spice Mass. Certainly, it is a collaboration, a strong collaboration. And back in April, when we actually had the launch in New York, we knew that it was going to be a phenomenally successful season. It's not just from the New York region that we've got such wonderful arrivals, because when we talked to the people who were coming off, they said they were coming from Minnesota and Chicago and Toronto. So we know that we've got people from all parts of the North American diaspora and visitors alike who are coming in for Spice Mass.
Very soon, JetBlue will launch non-stop service flight to Grenada from the U.S. beginning November 4th with the launch of service from Boston's Logan International Airport to Grenada's Maurice Bishop International Airport. The CEO said that GTA is committed to inter-regional travel throughout the year.
Air Canada will be starting 4 services from October the 29th, which is a doubling of the capacity that we had before. So we're really excited about that, and we're working in terms of front-loading the activations, looking at what we're doing both from a marketing and a promotional perspective to ensure that those flights come in, not only that they're full, but also that they're viable and that we can take that through to the summer service. And then with Caribbean Airlines, we continue to have a really strong partnership. They've now increased the capacity out of Barbados to daily service. We've also upped to 10 flights a week out of Trinidad. And then with Inter-Caribbean, we're now on 11 flights out of Barbados.
Senior members of the Royal Grenada Police Force say Spice Mass 2023 saw a high level of compliance. 3 executive members hosted a press conference on Wednesday to provide an update on the 2023 Carnival operations. ACP John Mitchell, in charge of operations, commended the public for complying with the rules and highlighted the low crime and violence figures during the period Friday, August 11th to August 16th, 2023, especially among the youthful population.
There were hardly any incidents or issues relating to crime and violence, specifically relating to the Carnival. We believe that you, the general public, significantly bought into the conversation that we had with regard to offensive weapon, with regards to misbehavior. And let me take this opportunity to congratulate our youthful population. Sometimes we leave them out of the conversation, but we did send that message out and ask our young men in particular to leave the knives and cutlasses at home. And that was very evident. Though we had a significant increase in the number of patrons on the street and at events, what we did recognize, and we did increase our searches, but what we recognize is that there was a significant reduction in the amount of weapons that were found. That tells us that we had significant buy-in from the general public, and in particular our youthful population, in understanding the importance of leaving weapons at home and the non-engagement in violence. So the RGPF, thank you. We are on the way to continued success as it relates to our youthful population and our general population buying into what the police force is advertising to you. And we thank you for this.
ASP Ryan Hall, in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department, emphasized that the crimes recorded during the season were not directly related to the festivities.
There was no report of sexual nature throughout the carnival period, no report of robbery, one shooting incident at Mount Edmont, which resulted in the death of one Delvin Thomas, a 30 years welder of Hermitage Carriacou, and we have one man-dozen injuries. 15 reported property crimes. This we know are crimes of opportunity. There were 7 harm offenses, with only 2 of these harm offenses being considered as indictable offenses. Throughout the period, we received several reports of what we consider little fights in some of the carnival-related activities.
Inspector Ryan Smith, attached to the Traffic Department, said 2023 saw a reduction in vehicular accidents compared with 2022. 1 serious accident occurred. 55 traffic tickets relating to prohibited parking and failing to comply with instructions were issued.
We had 58 road accidents, one of which were serious, and we all last year we had in excess of 60 motor vehicle accidents, and 3 of which were serious. So there was a significant reduction in the number of accidents that occurred on our road during the carnival activities from the 11th to the 15th of August. We also can say that the number of tickets were reduced also in comparison to last year, so we can say that there were greater compliance by the general public, and we want to thank them for that.
We take another break. When we return, UNDP program to help bolster crop production in Marquee and surrounding areas.
Have you noticed an increase or decrease in your electricity bill? You know that changes in the fuel and non-fuel rates affect your bill. You should also be aware that changes in household activities affect your bill. Ask yourself these questions. Have the rates changed? Have there been more people at your home? Have your children been on holiday? Have you used your fan or air conditioning unit more often to beat the heat? Are any of your electrical appliances or equipment faulty? Have you added any new appliances such as transformers, water heaters, or pumps? Make it a habit to understand any changes on your electricity bill. For more factors that affect your bill, visit www.grenlec.com. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Welcome back. In a significant step towards enhancing community resilience and fostering sustainable agriculture, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has extended a helping hand to the residents of Marquee and neighboring areas. A recent distribution of vegetable seedlings has been hailed as a promising move towards bolstering crop production and promoting self-sufficiency at the community level. More in this report.
Significant to this initiative is an unwavering commitment to bolstering climate resilience. As climate challenges continue to pose threats to agriculture, the UNDP's focus on sustainable and climate resilient practices is set to be extended to backyard gardeners and small-scale farmers through this initiative. Project Coordinator Carriacou Hobson elaborates further.
Our hope is that with time we will also be looking at more climate resilient species that would allow persons to grow crops that are better adapted to the expected changes in climate that we are anticipating to experience, and therefore persons would be able to continue to feed themselves in the near future.
The outreach will include the parishes of St. David, St. Andrew, St. Patrick, as well as the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. With the aim of distributing 10,000 seedlings by November, the UNDP initiative places particular emphasis on involving women and youth in this endeavor.
This is open to all interested persons. We are looking for persons who are currently doing some level of backyard gardening or small farmers. But if you are also interested, we are prepared to assist in that level. We have a priority for women farmers and young people. Not saying that men are disregarded, but our priority area really is for women and young people, because we know that given today's economy, many of the women are the ones who are running the households, and the young people are unemployed, and this is an opportunity for them to ensure that they have some level of gainful employment.
Partnering with the UNDP in this venture is the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIAP. According to Hortense Philip Charles, the CSA Extension Officer, this initiative is set to ensure lasting sustainability for the communities that stand to benefit from it.
As we are giving out these plants here today, we don't want you to just take these plants today, you plant it, it reaches cycle, and that's it. As he mentioned, we're looking at sustainability. If you go into the market, I'm sure you see the price of some of these vegetables, you cannot buy it. So if you have your vegetables at home and you continue cycle after cycle, you would minimize on the amount of money that you would be spending, right? You have a proper budget, and you would always have available nutritious vegetables.
Resident of Marquis, Ruby Noel, expresses her gratitude to the team for their support, highlighting that it directly translates to increased financial stability for her.
It's a good opportunity for the people around to be, grow something for themselves in the backyard, So we're proud, we're supposed to be proud and be thankful, that the people come around and give us something to start a little something. Trust me, I like this idea, because I'm into selling, and that gives me an opportunity where I get my own seedling to do my own thing, to make more money, because I like to hustle.
The generous provision of seedlings by the UNDP is set to empower local communities with the means to not only increase crop production, but also cultivate a culture of sustainable agriculture.
Grenada's 2023 Carnival received significant coverage from at least 18 regional and international journalists and media representatives from publications like Barbados Today, LUK, Melanin Media, Forbes, Ebony, and Essence. The team partnered with the Grenada Tourism Authority to experience firsthand some of Grenada's carnival events and maximize the island's exposure to the outside market. A welcome event was held at the resort of Sandals, Grenada last Friday. Tourism Minister Honorable Lennox Andrews said the initiative will help export the island, making its culture, food, history available to others regionally and internationally.
Our definition of tourism is that tourism means making available to others what we have that they don't have. And therefore it means that we must find the right people here and abroad who can speak to the international community about Grenada and what it is that Grenada has that they don't have, that can give them a new experience. Something different, something original, something new.
Founder of Melanin Media in New York City and team lead of the press trip, Melissa Noel, highlighted the benefits of the trip to Grenada and the individual media entities. The intention is to continue the collaboration and extend it to other local festivals.
when you have a destination like Grenada that has so much to offer, both in culture, in accommodations, we're here at Sandos for instance, but also in food and so many different things. I think it was an easy sell to our journalists because they knew that they would be getting a full experience, and that's what we really wanted to present to them. It's not just, you don't have to pick and choose here, you can get a little bit of everything. So it was easy for the journalists from all across different markets in the US and UK to say, I'm in. And we actually had to turn folks away after a time because the amount of response we got to this trip when folks heard it was Grenada was an overwhelmingly positive response, and we're really, really happy with it. This amazing partnership that Industry 360 has had with Grenada Tourism Authority, we want to really thank CEO Petra Roach and her team for just really seeing the value in us bringing in journalists to have this holistic experience. We certainly want to grow it, have more folks come here, and not just for Carnival, right? Because we know Grenada, you can come here anytime and really have a great experience. But we knew Spice Mass would be a great introduction for so many people. So we certainly want to grow that, build upon it. And we're going to have so many stories, both print and television, as well as some of our great influencers that are keeping things going from a social media standpoint.
This brings us to the end of the Week in Review for August 14th to 18th, 2023. I am Kristen Mitchell. Thank you for joining us.